Here's how The Flash Season 3 should have ended.
We did it. We got the Dominator attack. Yes! Yes! Where's Iris?
Not supposed to tell you anything, remember? What am I, stupid?
Oh, my plot armor!
Oh, Red Dreaded Entertainment, what is up? Aka-san here, flying solo for this big day. Oh yeah, The Flash season finale, baby. DC-san is not here today. I think this actually happened last year with season 2's finale as well. We were trying to get together, but he is not able. Actually, I have no idea where he is right now. He's caught in the Speed Force. That's what's going on right now. He kept on seeming like he was gonna show up today, but didn't work out. It's now about 7:30 Japan Standard Time. The show's been out for 8-9 hours now. We just gotta go. We gotta do this, right? Get this up for you guys before it gets too late. And if you want to make sure you get early access to this reaction before anybody else, make sure you're subscribed or you're following me here on Patreon. It's free to follow, but if you want to get the access for early access, it's only $5. It really helps ensure the future of this channel, and to make sure there's actually going to be any longevity in the next couple months with what's going on with YouTube. Everything could be gone, and I mean this seriously without any puns. Everything could be gone, guys, in a flash. But I do mean that seriously, but at the same time it's still funny. Yeah. Anyways, all that being said, we'll talk about that a little bit later after we watch this show. Good episode last week, if I remember correctly. You know, I'm back here in Tokyo now. I reacted to the last Flash episode in a Love Hotel. Adjusting to Future Flash, I like what Barry's providing. Future Barry, or Aberrant Barry, is providing, and we were all on point about the whole Spider-Man thing. I hope. There's a lot of loose ends to tie up with this particular episode, so I'm a little worried about how all this is going to go. I feel like it's going to be a cluster of just, they're going to throw everything together. Where was Julian? Where was HR? There's this theory that HR did the body swap, the face swap thing, which is already stupid in itself. But he swapped with Iris, and and it's almost a bit evident that it might be the case, considering they just like force-fed us that storyline with breaking into Argus, and they had Barry face swapped with what was her name, Lillian or Linda, whatever her name, right? So I hope that's not the case. I'm 100% sure Iris isn't around. I mean, Iris is still around. So it was emotional to see that happen, but at the same time, the way comics work and just things in general, I'm fine with that. Like, you know, she's coming back. It's just a matter of how she's gonna go about coming back. But other than that, Killer Frost stuff, you know, I'm fine with whatever some of that storylines are going, but everything is changing just a bit. This might be its own very own Flashpoint, right? Anyways, all that being said, oh, and thank you Red Dread Nation for all your comments last week on why the Black Flash isn't going after Savitar. I guess the best answer we could provide is the fact that the Speed Force kind of wants to punish Barry for messing up with the timeline, so that's why they don't really send Black Flash to take over or to fuck around with the timeline and such, or to stop Savitar. So anything else, like, you know, I know it's like this whole cop-out line about the more you mess with time, the more it doesn't matter and such, the rules don't apply to you. I don't really like that cop-out line. So hopefully the Speed Force does have something to say within this episode, but they probably not. I have a feeling that if we can get at least 50% of the questions in our head answered or so, then that's fine. Jay's still stuck in a Speed Force. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into your latest reaction for the season finale, season 3 finale of The Flash. Starts now. I was in my head, I was like, doo doo. I should have sang it to you guys. Doo doo. Let's go. And let's not forget, Savitar also needs one other thing that he didn't tell Barry. He's gonna keep that to himself, remember? So what is that one other thing? And there's HR. Oh! What the fuck? You know what? Savitar should just come back and just start killing all of them just for that sappy ass plot device. The fuck, man.
Please, don't hurt him.
It's still explaining it still doesn't make it better. This is dumb.
We just found each other.
I know. Wouldn't Future Barry now know that? Oh my! I'm gonna have to chill with this one and take it with a grain of salt, right? Rushed relationship between HR and whatever her name is. Future Barry should know this, that Iris is alive. Let me not overthink this. See how this plays out.
Savitar took the Speed Force bazooka.
How about I sit on my ass and let you obliterate permanently from existence? How's that sound? Put that mechanical genius to good work.
I kinda like him.
What I need.
He's a fucking prick, but I like him.
Both go.
I hope we get to see him later in future seasons. No pun intended.
And I just don't think that Hate's gonna get it done this time.
What do you mean?
You gotta use the power
What are you
of
gonna do?
love?
No less than you'd expect.
Like a Care Bear? Oh, he's gonna confront him.
That's my favorite memory. It's Mom and Dad. What was the name of that town?
Smallville? This'll be funny.
This is bloody insanity.
Yeah, this is bloody insane.
Better stay away from it.
We're gonna help you, okay?
Damn, even the side of his hair got like engraved into his skin.
Thank you.
I swear to God, he could just kill Iris right now.
No.
I think I know someone who might be able to get through to her.
Oh my God, are they really gonna pull this Earth 2 HR?
I'm not HR.
This is where we came up with the cerebral inhibitor to use against the bow. Oh, you haven't gotten there yet. So, how's this gonna work? Where will I live? What do you mean? Are Wally and I gonna be bunkmates? Am I supposed to just rejoin Team Flash, fight some rogues? What kind of life were you thinking I'd lead?
It's a very good point.
I hadn't gotten that far yet.
That's what I was
How do we
wondering.
explain me at the wedding?
Right.
And do I sit bride side or groom side? You're gonna spend the rest of your life with him. But I remember giving you the ring, singing to you, asking you to marry me.
Remember, I told you this remnant situation is a very interesting concept,
I can't do this.
right?
I will be here for you.
But you won't.
I tried to kill you.
What?
I'll take my chances.
Oh, wow! Gypsy's so hot and bounces around very nicely.
You were almost killed
How did you vibe that I was in trouble?
because we are connected. Jackass.
Rrrr.
Today, I become a god. This is why I brought you here to speak. Doesn't like it when speech just mess with time. Get ready.
Ah! Is that him? That's him, right?
See you later, Hunter.
The one thing Black Flash can't fight. Cold. Finally, we are gone.
Shit.
I've been waiting a long time to do that.
You didn't.
I did.
Know it.
Let's end this.
Here we go. Yo! Oh boy. This motherfucker just Vegeta'd everybody. Oh shit. Damn! Speed. What the fuck?
How does it feel?
What the fuck just happened?
You kill me, you become me. Either way, I live.
Oh my god. Who? What? 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 Like Eddie though. I do like that. That's kind of clever. Kind of like what Eddie did.
When I think of HR, I'm reminded of a story that John Lennon said that
Barry
they all
Allen trying to look like
understood
do his best Matt Murdock impression right now.
life. HR understood life.
I'll be
That is the hot. I mean this with all respect. That is the hottest funeral suit I have ever seen.
Well.
I'm not Caitlin anymore.
Come on, Killer Frost.
No, I'm not. I'm something else.
Someone.
And I need to
else.
figure out what that is.
You're Khaleesi, fucking Game of Thrones right now.
Now I guess it's safe to stop.
Delivered.
I thought someone died.
I wasted a lot of...
Timequake?
What even emits that many kilojoules? The Speed Force. The Centaur's dead. That's a problem. Speed Force prison. It needs an occupant. When you freed me, we emptied it. Without a prisoner, it goes unstable.
Is he gonna recreate a time rim then? Or is Barry's gonna sacrifice himself just like season 2? He's gonna jump into a dark ass hole.
No, you can't. Barry.
Here we go. I like how Jay is just like not even going to mention himself this time around.
You mind second round? Anything for you.
Nice.
Barry.
Oh shit.
There's your mother.
Oh shit. That ain't his mom.
That's the Speed Force.
Yeah. Calling to you.
Barry isn't going to hell. But like all runners must eventually, he's reached his finish line. His race is over. You can't take him with you.
Yes, to all of this. It started with my mistake.
Yeah.
With Flashpoint.
Yeah.
This is my penance.
Yeah.
This is my redemption.
My beautiful boy.
No father ever felt more proud of his son.
Barry. It's time.
Alright, Ghost Mom. Shit.
You're supposed to have a happy ending. I'm ready to be Iris Webster.
And you always will be. But you need to keep living your life. Keep growing. Keep loving. Keep running. For me.
The Speed Force is a bitch!
Don't miss the 100th season finale this Wednesday at 9, 8 Central.
Fuck! Alright guys, so there you have it. That was the finale to The Flash Season 3. Wait a second. Now I'm starting to wonder about this. Okay, remember the newspaper article? Didn't it say that Flash vanishes in a crisis or something like that? Like a lightning crisis? Like the first couple words was like lightning and thunder hit the sky or something like that. Was there? Am I making some sort of connection there? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? The storm thing, but in the Flash vanishes is maybe that's not what it is. God damn, man. All right, let's back it up. Let's back it up just a little bit and just talk about this whole thing with Savitar and the time rim thing. Yes, I said in the beginning I wasn't happy about the whole face. I wasn't going to be happy if the whole thing was the face changing thing, because it was introduced as the face changing thing, and then suddenly it just kind of got it. It started becoming like a whole body modification thing instead. In the 11th hour of story writing, basically, right? That's the thing that kind of bothered me the most. It's like, yes, they introduced it early on with the face changing thing, but they were just talking about face, right? But then suddenly, within like the last 3 episodes left, suddenly it becomes an entire body modification deal, and I'm like, okay, that's a harder pill to swallow if I've ever taken one, right? So I'm not a big fan of like that whole situation, but let's look past that, right? The other thing was, okay, with HR being killed, I was never a fan of HR. This particular, he never really fit. I don't know what it was about his particular character. I know, like, gradually as the season went on, a lot of people, the Red Dread Nation, a lot of you guys thought that started getting used to him and stuff. I just thought he was corny most of the time, and I was so used to Harrison Wells. I was even used to season 1 Harrison Wells. Even season 2 Harrison Wells was like Earth 2 Harrison Wells took some time, but I got used to him with his Batman voice and what have you not, right? I still think the best one was the first one because there was so much of an intrigue. Eivor Vaughn playing him. But then on top of that, just again with this 11th hour type writing, you know, meaning like there's 1 hour to go before the stroke of midnight, right? Like everything's up. This 11th hour writing with introducing the scientists and this like romance for you to try to care about both HR and the scientists, so it just never really suited me. And I think I've mentioned that in past recap shows that we've done. I've said if this was introduced early on in the season, I might have kind of cared for it, but I think she was introduced like in the third or fourth episode to the last, that I was just like, okay, they're kind of shoehorning her in to make you care, where the payoff for me just wasn't a big deal. I didn't care if he died or whatever. I kind of wanted him dead from the beginning anyways, right? Other than that, let's put all that aside. The Time Remnant situation, I thought that was great. It's cool that Black Flash showed up. Remember, I knew that was, I told you guys I wasn't buying any of that, you know, I knew that Savitar was going to have to pay for that sooner than later, and they finally sent the Speed Force, right? The Speed Force finally sent Black Flash to fuck around and shit, which was kind of dope. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna say this is kind of easy writing, but instead of Cisco making like a keyhole to get Jay out of the Speed Force, wouldn't it have been more important? Wouldn't it have been more interesting? Wouldn't it have been smarter to try and manipulate that ray or whatever to swap bodies with, or swap the energy with Jay and Savitar instead? So instead of just being a keyhole, Jay getting out of there, it's like phew, Savitar ends up going back into the Speed Force, right? But he wouldn't Savitar, maybe Savitar would cease to exist anyways in the Speed Force. That wouldn't be a problem. I don't know. It was interesting. Then the whole idea of them trying to be nice to Savitar Barry, I thought that was kind of interesting. It was a nice little story. It really, the entire time, guys, I was totally thinking about the Clone Saga with Peter Parker and Ben Reilly. This whole idea of like, well, even if he lives, what kind of life is he going to have, right? And I thought of this entire season, my opinion about this entire season is I thought the entire Time Remnant and Time Remnant Barry Savitar angle was actually the most interesting part of the entire season. And had we just had explored it a little bit more, I would have actually liked a few more episodes of just Savitar Barry trying to be nice with Team Flash and work things this particular way. Kind of the same way they kept on playing with Killer Frost and trying to get her, Caitlin, to come back. I would have liked to have seen a little bit of Savitar Barry kind of flip-flop a little bit, you know, occasionally save the day with Barry or something like that, right? Like, I thought that would have been kind of cool to see, because I kind of liked his whole situation. I think the whole white lightning, red lightning, and yellow lightning, the theories that we've heard as fans really didn't, I think that never really came true. Maybe the producers will answer that later, because it seems like Savitar's suit just basically powers white lightning, whereas Savitar himself, our future Barry, was still yellow. That kind of threw me off for a bit when they were meeting for the first time, or when they were meeting in this particular episode. There was something else I was going to tell you guys about that. So the whole jumping in, I told you we were going to be left with a few questions here. The whole jumping in situation where present day Barry phased out future Barry from the Savitar suit. Like, I didn't even know that was a possibility, that he could do something like that. Like, and then present day Barry's changed the color of the suit, like, into red, and like some of that was kind of shaky. But overall, I guess going into this episode, I knew there was going to be kind of like, it was going to be a cluster of like ideas that, you know, weren't really going to be fully explained, or we're just going to have to put our own theories into there as of why things were happening, right? Knowing that, I don't think it wasn't a bad season. It definitely wasn't the strongest season. I would have to go back and rewatch season 2 to see if, because I remember I had a few problems with the zoom angles as well. But I think particularly because season 3 is fresh in my mind right now, I just felt like they could have done a few things better, and I think their strongest point was Future Barry, and Savitar was their strongest deal. But sometimes they went off the rails so often, and during the times when the episodes would take these long breaks, that it would be very hard to kind of get back into the gear of things like this. If I were to compare it so far, I think Supergirl actually had a better season finale. Believe it or not, that's interesting, right? But I think the ending of this season finale is just as strong. Actually, I can't even remember what the ending. What was the ending of that? The ending of season 2. The ending of season 2 was you know what? The ending of season 2 was still the best one, because he basically created Flashpoint. The ending of this one, I like it because it has kind of. I'm trying to remember what comic it came from, but there is one where Barry basically was like, alright, I gotta kick it inside the Speed Force and become kind of a prisoner of the Speed Force for a while. And then finally he comes back like real jacked up or something like that. So I'm very curious how season 4 is going to handle itself, because I'm actually really curious as to what is going to be the point where Barry Allen comes back from the Speed Force. What point is the Speed Force going to be like, yo, we need Barry Allen back on Earth type of deal? Like, that's the interesting part for me. Like, that's what I kind of want to see. I hope he comes back with a better suit on top of that. They all need to get revamped and such. I'm glad that Earth 2, Harrison Wells, is going to be back. I know next season isn't going to have a villain, a speedster villain this time around, so that'll be even more interesting to see, like, because there's no way. I'm gonna give it the end of episode 4, the end of season 4, the end of episode 1, season 4, and we're gonna have hints of Barry Allen coming back, basically. Like, there's no way Barry Allen can be away from the show called The Flash for too long. I'm pretty sure they're gonna hint as to what is up with Barry Allen. Maybe they'll show him kicking in. They might do like a Speed Force type of deal, or like I'm talking about like Arrow, where they do flashbacks every once in a while. Like currently, you know, like they're gonna show Barry in the Speed Force doing something, and then I also feel like maybe we might get something where Barry is gonna escape the Speed Force or something like that. Like, for example, when the Infinite Crisis, the beginning of Infinite Crisis happened, and Earth 2's Superman punched himself and Superboy and Lois Lane, I believe, out of this sort of prison. I feel like maybe Barry Allen might churn something and break out of Speed Force with season 4. That's one of my predictions there. Speaking of which, I should probably do a collab with somebody, and we can talk about that, predictions and such for the future Flash episodes. Guys, let's go ahead and move on to the question of the video. So, I've already kind of reiterated, I'm kind of reiterating here, but I just need to know, guys, with based on season 1 and season 2, how does season 3 rank up for you guys? I mean, this is a thing because I've seen your comments throughout this entire season, and I think this will definitely, I personally feel like this season right now has been the weakest of, and I'm a little worried about that because I feel like I don't want to see the Flash start declining. I'm a big fan of it, but I don't want to see my interest peaking and getting less and less interested the same way they did with Arrow a few seasons back. We haven't gotten to, and I don't think we're at that point yet. They haven't done anything in the writing. They haven't done anything too incremental in the writing where it's permanent like they did with the Olicity shit and having a relationship between Olicity and Oliver, which never should happen. And it became such a permanent fixture that it's always going to be the stain in the back of my mind with Arrow. No matter how good this season of Arrow has been, that's always a remembrance of like, god damn, man, right? I don't think it's gotten to that point yet because I was kind of worried that it was going to be like that with the whole HR and that scientist thing. It was goofy asses, but they killed him, so that's good. Iris, the Patty would be nice if she came back. Hey, there you go. What if that would be the case? What if that were the case? Like Time Remnant Barry Allen could have hooked up with Patty and just lived this alternative life, just banging the fuck out of that Patty with the fatty. I'm the future in the ass. Alright, just let me know what you guys thought about this season, or like if you have any theories or whatever. If you have any ideas of what you guys want to do continuing the discussion about Flash, maybe I'll bring in DC Sun tomorrow or next week or whatever. Maybe we'll talk about the Flash and future predictions for the seasons or whatever. Maybe we should do a big old Patreon group chat type of deal and talk about the Flash. That might be a good one as well. Maybe team up with a few other reactors from the community and such about that. Alright. Wow, what a rush, guys. Guys, it has been a pleasure doing these Flash reactions for you. And as I mentioned early on in the reaction, or early on in the beginning of this show, things are getting kind of tough here with YouTube, and the ad revenue isn't what it used to be. So this may be my last Flash reaction. We will see when the show comes back on. When the show comes back on, hopefully YouTube will be better and there will be more things. It's been a pleasure to edit these, stay up late into the hours, cutting these up, having fun, doing voiceovers and things like that. But if it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense, essentially, right? I can't be doing this for free and for charity and such, especially when at a time it really did help keep the roof over my head. But if I can't do it for free, or if I'm doing it for charity or what have you not, you know, I need to focus my energy on actually my real job and such that's actually paying, right? So I can make sure I can still afford to keep the power on and things like that. So hopefully YouTube will get better in the near future. I haven't seen it get better so much, but if it continues down this kind of downslope type of deal, we're going to have to think about a different way. Maybe just keep the recap part of the reaction recap show, something that's a little more simple, so I can stay connected with you guys still and showcase my fandom. But if it's something that if currently the way we're doing it this way just takes way too many hours for me to be doing for free, which is a shame because I really do enjoy it, but we got to do it. Like I said, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. That being said, I am investing a lot more time into Twitch, and I am putting a lot of time into this Patreon situation. A lot of other friends of mine that do reviews and entertainment and such, Patreon is a great way to keep them supported. They can do that all on their own without the help of YouTube and such. So if you are interested, I encourage you to please take a look at my Patreon page. It's free to follow. It only costs $5 if you just want to get the open access to exclusive events, extended reactions, bonus footage, Japanese lessons. Furthermore, there's a lot of stuff, basically early access. This, at this point right now, is the only ensure that this channel can continue where it needs to be by the time season 4 of Flash comes around. If YouTube doesn't change up what they're doing, it's gonna be bad. So if this is indeed my last long, detailed reaction, recap, review type discussion show, then it's been an honor serving you, having fun, showcasing my fandom, doing all the voiceover stuff with my favorite show of the week, The Flash, right? Okay, guys, make sure you take a look at the links below and hang out for the rest of this week. Tomorrow is Arrow. Again, another one of those shows where this might be it. It's really the TV shows really that take the most time. Let's see what happens, okay? Love you all. Thank you for being a part of this ride for season 3, and we'll talk again tomorrow with Arrow, okay? Talk to you later. And catch up with you guys in a flash.